call this morning Not Today, Ethan Day. Because as you guys pulled in, I hope you noticed my Bronco out there pulled in backwards in reverse, as most do today, with a big green sign on it.
No, neon.
Neon sign that says, "Not today, Ethan," with an exclamation point.
Dude, it is so sad how the first thing I do now when I pull into our station parking lot is I glance to my right to see who got the spot.
This guy who took my spot again yesterday. I would not be denied. So yesterday, I came up here at 7 o'clock. I parked my Bronco. I walked back home to work.
You did not.
No, stop.
Oh, yeah.
You walked?
You did what?
Yeah, my house isn't that far from here. It's
Is that
15
why
minute
your
walk.
bike's out front?
And I biked into work.
Come on, man. What?
Yeah.
You are something else.
Parked my car last night here when I knew he'd be gone and everybody from Haverty's would be gone, not tipping them off. Came here, pulled in backwards, put the sign. I actually went to Target after my workout yesterday and got that poster paper.
Wow.
Yeah, a poster. It's a giant poster board like you would use for like your science fair projects and stuff like that, or to make a sign saying, "Hey, vote me class president."
And the markers yesterday also. Then came back up here, parked the car, walked to work, walked to home, I should say, and took my bike this morning and brought it in.
Did you sign it, Petty Crocker?
So now the weird thing about this whole thing is Ethan clearly saw it because he parked right next to me and he had his bike on top of his car today. Did you notice that?
I did notice that.
So I don't know what the plan was. I don't know.
At this point, Ethan's like, y'all are paying way too much attention to me. This is weird. Leave me alone.
Yeah, we're about to get like some kind of stalking.
Johnny Haverty's going to call us up. Yeah, and be like,
All right. Speaking of kind of crazy here, Amber this morning looking very green.
It's not easy being green,
That's lying.
having to spend each day the color of the leaves.
So it was Amber that lost the competition in St. Patrick's Day over Savannah's Day weekend. And yesterday found out she has to paint herself green all week long.
Very excited about that. Whose idea was that for the song?
You're welcome.
Thanks, buddy. I don't know if you saw, but intern Sadie got me really good. So check out her Instagram story. Apparently, I look like the cucumber for VeggieTales.
Yes.
Spot on. Spot on.
Larry.
So yeah, she called me out on that. So I hate you, Sadie.
So it will be every morning for a week now. You will apply this face paint and you will go about your day in green because you lost the St. Patrick's Day bet.
So after the Bert show today, what do you have on your docket?
Nothing. I cleared my week.
Amber, that defeats the purpose.
But I did, Katie and I did go to the moon yesterday so I can get myself, she bought me a beer. And as soon as we walk in,
Is that
the
Blue
guy,
Moon you're talking about?
Blue Moon, the guy that works the front was like, he hit me up like Kevin Hart. He's like, damn. Like, when he saw me. And I was like, yeah, I'm not Don Cheadle. Stop it. And then I don't know if Tommy got them yet, but I did send him some stuff because how my dad and my best friend reacted. Wes roasted the crap out of me.
Yeah. I feel like we need to send you out this morning, maybe to get a Starbucks, because hiding is not the spirit of this at all.
Well, you know what I would love to do is, because my swole mate is so on top of things, she's starting at the gym today.
Is that right?
We just told her yesterday
Love
she's
this.
starting at the gym today. So maybe you can go and meet my swole mate over at Pinnacle Fitness, drop off some Bert Show swag, and get a couple reps in.
Oh, yeah.
Well, that depends what time, because I got to record PH hires today.
Oh, she found some plans fast, didn't
Podcast.
Yeah, I forgot. We're recording today until 7 p.m. tonight.
Is that when it is 7 o'clock tonight?
Oh, from 12 p.m. to 7 p.m. We record for 7 hours.
yeah.
It takes us that long to get good content.
Because I can go out in public, but here's the thing. I live furthest from everybody, so this is way after you guys go home.
No.
Okay, good.
This
good,
is
good,
at
good.
9 a.m. during the show.
Okay, during the show. Okay, I can definitely do that.
Yeah, and I am noticing that your green face is the same as my bike. So you getting on my bike and toting around and doing a couple of errands for the Bert Show this morning seems apt to me.
Looks like Jackson's on phones.
It would appear so, yeah. Our producer Katie thinks her girlfriend might owe her $1,000. Now, just to give you some context before she even gets into this, Katie is part of our youth group that went down to Savannah for the shenanigans for St. Patrick's Day, right? And on the line for the weekend was $1,000, right? If you won the competition, you won $1,000. If you lost, then you had to paint your face green like Amber has had to do all week long. So there was $1,000 on the line while they were doing all these goofy shenanigans over the weekend. So Katie, you can take it from there.
Yes. So before the weekend even happened, I went down the list of what the shenanigans were. I told my girlfriend, I was like, look, I'm going to Savannah. This is what's on the line. She's like, oh, okay, that sounds fun. So I start listing off the things like, make out with another TBS member, get up on stage at Amber's club that she used to quote unquote perform at. I'm giving her all the list of things, and she decides to provide a counter offer.
This is actually very respectful of you to do, by the way. I love this communication and hey, because how long have you guys been dating again?
6 months.
Okay, 6 months. And you guys are pretty serious, right? And so to present this and be like, hey, this is what we're doing. It's all about having fun. But of course, I would never want to do anything that makes you uncomfortable, because there's definitely some things that we throw on there could make a significant other uncomfortable. So I commend you for having that conversation before you bounce.
Just want to let you know that I might end up naked on a stage at a strip club. Hey, just want to let you know I might be making out with a coworker this weekend. That's nice of you.
By you telling her first, you clearly didn't want to win.
Katie knew walking into this weekend she wasn't running away with $1,000.
No.
Oh yeah, I knew that, but I'd rather have saved my relationship. So, but here's the thing, like how Jackson got permission for his girlfriend to make out with another member. She said, don't try me like that. Right. So we already knew that.
I am not the one.
I am not the one nor the two. So she made that one clear. Those were like the obvious ones. But in her counter offer, she didn't care about the strip club thing at all. She was like, go have fun there. That's something I would have thought that she would have been like, no. Where she drew the line at was the tattoo.
Really?
Oh, really?
She said, you better not get a tattoo. I will pay you $1,000 to not get a tattoo.
Why is she so anti-tattoo?
That's the thing. She couldn't even really break it down for me, because I was like, a tattoo? Like, that's just so random. Now, keep in mind, I do not have any tattoos at all. So I don't know why this is something that she was like, no, don't do it. But she was headstrong. And the only reason why I was like, okay, was because she said, I will pay you $1,000 if you do not get a tattoo.
Fair enough.
Would you have really gotten one had she not put that offer on the table?
No, you don't have to answer that. My client doesn't have to answer that. I object. As we're trying to get $1,000, my client does not have to answer that.
Fine.
So the day of comes where we all go to the tattoo shop. And I'm watching everyone, and she just happens to FaceTime me. That was interesting timing on her behalf. And she's like, where are you at? And I was like, the tattoo shop. She's like, you're not getting that tattoo, right? I was like, you said $1,000, so you're right.
Yep.
All right. So the day it passed. I didn't get the tattoo,
Okay,
guys.
just so I'm clear, you were there at the tattoo place right there. She FaceTimes you and you bring it back up. I'm not going to do it, but we're both on board. It's $1,000. And she says, you got it.
Yep.
Okay, that's a verbal commitment.
Right.
That's a verbal contract.
Verbal means nothing in
In a relationship, especially. Absolutely nothing.
I was taking it to court. Unless you got it in writing. Sorry, babe. You got nothing.
Oh, funny you say that, Kristen.
What?
All right, so after that, it's done. I didn't do it. And so I'm like, hey, remember that deal we had? And she's like, technically it wasn't in writing.
Oh,
and I just said it.
no.
So now she's trying to back out of it. And then she's using all these terms that I don't understand, because she's currently in law school. So she is coming with all these arguments, and she's a better arguer than me. I don't know how to argue back, but she said it on the phone. We had a verbal agreement, but she's like, it wasn't in writing, so it doesn't count. So now she's not trying to pay me my money.
Okay. Now, as my client, I would like to remind you that there are tattoo places right down the street here. I mean, you could have one by the end of the day if you wanted one.
That is true. But, okay, yes, Cassie, go ahead.
Amy, our business manager, is going to kill me. But if your girlfriend doesn't pony up, what if we paid you $1,000 to get the tattoo?
Oh.
What you got against a relationship?
Not my money. Not my relationship. Not my money. Just floating it.
Just floating it out there.
Is this your relationship or a tattoo, Katie? Which one you want to choose?
I mean, $1,000. I think that, honestly, I think your girlfriend's being unreasonable. She said that. You followed up on it. And then she pulled out with the whole, it was verbal, it wasn't in right. Come on, man.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to figure out how do I get her to hold up her end of the deal.
Well, what if it was something instead of $1,000, but something worth $1,000 that's beneficial to the both of you? So, like, she kind of pays it off. Like, whenever you guys go out to dinner, she always picks up the tab. Whenever if you guys plan your next vacation, she's covering your flight, she's covering your hotel. And slowly but surely, she can work that $1,000 off, but it's still beneficial because you guys are spending quality time together.
Okay. I like that. Something I might be able to present.
Bo, what's on your mind? You got something up there. I can see the wheels turning.
That just feels like being in a relationship.
You're like, that's called being a man.
Yes. It doesn't really feel like a payoff.
I would actually, I know we're joking about it, but if this was my relationship, I'd actually be upset about it.
I would go get the tattoo.
I'd be really, really upset. Yeah, I would do so. And I'd put it like one of those Mike Tyson tattoos right on my face.
Wait,
Okay.
do you have something you want to get?
No, but I've always wanted a tattoo. So I don't know. I got to figure out something.
Okay.
I got to get my money.
Yeah, I think you go back to her with Kristen's plan. All right, you're not going to pay me the cash, but $1,000. You got to pay for everything leading up to $1,000. And once you're done there, then we're good.
Gotta do something.
Counter offer to her counter.
Let's see what she says. Okay. See, there are some events that are just too big for an announcement, right? Where a celebrity might go online and make an announcement, maybe a pivot in their career. And what they do is they will hold a press conference when the info is that important. So today, Amber told us that she had an announcement to make on the Bert Show. We thought it was too big for just an announcement. It was time for a press conference. So let's turn this studio into a press room right now. And question for you. Are we the press where we can ask questions after you make your press conference announcement?
I will allow that, but
Okay.
please save all questions till the end. Thank you.
Okay.
All right.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the press. Thank you for meeting with me on such short notice. With my charming flair, shockingly apparent immaturity, and mid-20s skin, many people would have convinced that I am fresh out of college. In fact, I am not. I'm going to make this brief because I know as people above 30, we only get about 5 hours of energy before we need to take a nap. But I learned a lot about my fellow members of the youth group this past weekend. But I also learned that even more about myself. And I regret to inform you, esteemed members of the People's Party Press Committee, that I can no longer hang. Look, I gave it my all this weekend. I went out with my 20-something friends, stretched beforehand, hydrated like a champion, and even took ibuprofen. Took a lot of ibuprofen. Okay.
Next time, just say Tylenol.
Yeah. All right. But these kids are fueled
These kids.
by bad decisions and vibes alone, and I need caffeine and vitamins to purely exist.
Thanks.
And I owe it all to you. To be honest, I wanted to win. I really did. But once the challenges started, I realized that they are in a league of their own. And I instinctively did water aerobics when we jumped into the green fountain. As we were busking, several Boy Scouts tried to help me across the road to earn a badge. I thought streaking was just the marks left over in your underwear after Taco Tuesday.
Hey, yo.
I thought I had it in me, but this weekend was truly an eye-opening experience for me. I will be taking my talents in a coaching role moving forward. And I am officially retiring from shenaniganing again. This is now the time for questions.
All right, question.
Over here, CNN over here.
Question. So are you retiring from the youth group altogether, or is it just weekend shenanigans?
I think it's going to have to be for weekend shenanigans until my knees can learn how to work properly again.
They ain't coming back.
Yeah.
Miss Jones over here.
So we saw the unfortunate video of you puking your guts out
Yes.
at the Airbnb. Is there anything you'd like to say about that?
Yes, something that many people do not know, only Katie knows, is that when I drove down there, I accidentally forgot to pack my toothpaste. So I had to have that flavor in my mouth for quite some time until I can take care of that problem.
Thank God you didn't make out with any of the other members of the youth group.
It would have been hard for them, not for me.
Miss Jones over here, over here.
You.
So you said yesterday on air that you were, quote, too drunk to engage in some of the 100-point activities. In hindsight, are there any activities that you think you left some action on the field? Any that in hindsight you think you could have participated in?
Actually, yes, Miss Murphy, thank you so much for that. I do believe that the tattoo is something that I could have gone through, but it's probably a good thing that I did not, because I'm sure that my blood was extremely thin and that tattoo would not have done very well.
Miss Jones,
Question.
over here.
Yes, Miss Young.
Will this affect your participation in the Personality Hires podcast moving forward?
Absolutely not. I will make sure that I am still a part of the Personality Hires. They need a black lesbian on board.
We do.
And looking back on the game tape, was it really your age that hurt you, or was it the amount of drinking you were doing?
I'm going to say it was my age, the amount of drinking, and just the fact that I'm just crazy. I lost my mind.
Over here.
Mr. Weiss?
Was there a specific moment where you knew, because you were excited going into the weekend, where you knew, I'm just not going to be able to hang?
At one point, I took a look in the mirror and I looked at myself and I said, something has changed within me. Something's not the same. I'm damn near 40. That's what the problem is.
Last question. Like, how did the rest of the youth group take the news?
There were some tears. There were some hugs.
Sure.
And then Katie took me out for a beer, so it's all good.
Okay, good.
One last question, Miss Jones.
Miss Murphy.
Which retirement home will you be booking yourself into?
Shady Pines.
Dude, that's why you're no longer in the youth group, because that was a Golden Girls reference.
That'll get you out of there.
Let's go get that. All right.
All right, staying here for 1 second. I think that everybody has a moment just like this where you just realize, like, all right, I just can't do it as much anymore. I got two examples. One, I saw this great TikTok the other day that said, and it's a really attractive woman and she's out, and they also did a timestamp on it, and the voiceover was, show me somebody over the age of 40 that's out past 9 o'clock, and I'll show you somebody that had a nap today. That was the first one. And the second time, this one for me was Vegas, because I used to go to Vegas all the time, living out in San Diego. And at first, I think I've told you guys, the weeks in Vegas were literally 5 days long. We're partying! What? You know what? And we're up until 3, and we get up at 7, and we're in the pool by 9, and we're doing it all over 5 days. And then you get a little bit older. I can hang with you guys for 4 days. And then it goes 3, and then it goes 2, and then you have a hangover when you fly over Vegas. And then when anybody even says the word Vegas, you're like, have a good time. You guys had these?
I think I had a time when not only did I fall asleep at the bar, I knew it was bad when I didn't care. Like because normally you were trying to fight it. Like, oh, I wouldn't sleep. They was like, are you asleep? I was like, knocked out, fam. I'm ready to go home, bro. I'm sorry.
I'm 27.
Yeah, you're good.
You should.
Mine was definitely, it didn't even involve drinking. It was at your holiday party when I realized I'm the old. You were getting ready to make a little speech to everyone, just like a thank you for being here speech. And I saunter up to Abby and Rebecca, all hey, feeling myself. Is this where we find out we get the Jelly of the Month club? And they just stared at me. And I was like, no, you don't get the reference? National Lampoon? He gets a Jelly of the Month club instead of a bonus check? And it
I'm older than
gutted
you,
me.
and I didn't even get that.
What? All right, maybe I'm just weird.
So this happened this past weekend. So picture this. There we are in our neighborhood, and we have those like long, like those folding chairs you take to like kids' sports games or whatever, sitting in the driveway. We have like 6 kids running in the yard playing games. So it's me and 2 other neighbors, and we're sitting there, and then it's just chaos in the yard with kids. And across the street, we have 3 girls that rent out a house, and they had a giant inflatable diamond ring on the door because somebody was having a bachelorette party. So 8 women come out of the house, young women, and they're about to go out for a bachelorette party, and they're dressed to the nines. We got crop tops, we got short shorts, we got leopard pants. They looked amazing, right? And I'm sitting there looking, and I'm like reminiscing on my old days, and I'm like, oh, how great. And then there's one vehicle, and somebody opens the hatchback, and a girl crawls in the back to get into the back. They all 8 of them pile into this one vehicle and drive off. And then they circle the block and come back because somebody forgot her ID in her purse. So they pull into the driveway, but there's a steep hill and there's too much weight. And so you hear the of the car as it goes up into the driveway.
I remember those days.
Runs out, gets back in. They back out and they head out. And I was like, I'm good.
I remember those days.
They have the time of their life. I'm good. And then the next morning, I'm in their driveway again, sitting in that chair. It's like around 11:30 or noon, and those girls roll back up looking completely different.
And that's when you look like, I can't do
this anymore.
I've got so many of these. I forgot what I was invited to a couple of weeks ago. But like it started at 9 o'clock, and I'm like, who starts a party at 9?
I think losing my breath during the cha-cha slide at Bert's Big Adventure.
That's another good one.
That's another one.
That's another good one. I've had to eliminate friends that I know are going to go out like on Saturday night, but you get to a point where you're like, okay, I'm going to rest on Friday, right? I'm going to hydrate on Saturday, and then I know I'm going to be hungover on Sunday and Monday, so it's not worth 4 days, man.
It's so funny that you said that because my best friend and I, Wes, we talked about this. He's like, don't go too hard on Friday, day drink on Saturday, that way you're okay to drive back on Sunday. And I forgot all that.
Yeah.
Planning your hangover is definitely an old move.
Yeah.
For sure.
Or taking the Tylenol, or putting it on the side table before you go out because you know you're going to need it when you get home is another one.
Yeah.
It's getting more apparent to me, Mo. You're going to have to make a decision, man. Do you want a career or family? Do you want a mom or a career?
That's exactly how it feels. I always find myself in these dilemmas. I don't know how it happens, but here we go again. Last year, I was in a similar situation when I was forced to choose between going to this party that was going to end up being really good for my career because it was some heavy hitters there, and it was some people I really wanted to network with, and it was between that or going to my dad's 50th birthday party. And as much as it's like, oh, this is an easy one, go see my dad's party. At some point, I can't keep choosing family every single time.
I think they were telling you, if I remember this correctly, weren't they telling you to like go hang out?
Yeah, they didn't put the pressure on me at all. They were like, if you got to do what you got to do, go ahead and do it. Take care of yourself. My dad, I know for a fact he wouldn't have been mad at me if I didn't choose my family. But when it came down to it, it's his 50th. Like this just felt too big of a birthday for my dad. And I know me. I would have looked at those pictures and the videos of my family all being together and not being there, and that would have bothered me for the rest of my life. So I was like, I have to be there for that day. I can't miss it. So fast forward about a year later, almost exactly to the day actually, and I'm in another one. And it works out perfectly for me to be in this dilemma once again. So this happened because initially I got an invitation from my dude Keon, who I do my podcast in the moment with, which is on Bert's Network Pioneer. And he got this really cool offer to fly to LA. They're having like a big R&B, old school R&B concert with all of these big R&B acts. And they have a private event, after party, where all of the acts are invited. And it's a star-studded list of people. And they reached out and asked us to host a party. And so I'm like, what?
Huge.
This is big.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Do you know some of the names that might be there?
Mostly all of them.
Really?
Mostly all of them. So it's like, I mean, I thought at first they wanted us to just go, but then it was like, no, why don't you guys actually host it? And I'm like, oh, now it became a really big deal. Going was one thing, but hosting it, I'm like, okay, this can do wonders for myself. And so I mean, literally, it's almost like life is doing this on purpose. As soon as he calls, I don't even have 30 minutes to get excited about the opportunity before I see my iPad FaceTime from my baby sister. And she's at that point in her life where if she FaceTimes me, I know it's important because she not just FaceTiming me for nothing. So I'm like, okay, I answer, and she's so excited to tell me this news. She's like, guess what? I'm like, what's up? She's like, I got my first big painting, like my first big art exhibit. Like this is a show.
Yeah.
And she's headlining the show. Like it's her, it's all of these different artists from around the world. It's a big deal. And I've literally listened to her for like the last probably 5 years of life just talk about this moment of how she cannot wait to be up there with the big dogs and really showcasing her talents and her abilities.
I think you've been invested in it also, trying to push her in that direction even.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Pushing her in it, giving her everything she needs. And I mean, this is lining up perfectly because she now wants to move to New York to pursue her art full time. And this is like her first opportunity in New York City to showcase her talents and really get her life and her career going. So I'm like, yes, let's do it. When is this? I'm so excited. I'm going to be there. Like, tell me when. It's the same weekend.
Dang it.
It's the same exact weekend.
Before you go on, let me ask this question for you guys listening. 1-855-BERT show. This could be fun. You guys call us up and tell us about the conflicting schedule that you had, and we try to guess which event you went to.
Oh, I like it.
Okay.
That's fun.
1-855-BERT show if you want to play with us.
So initially, I'm like, okay, what day is your event? And she's like, it's on Sunday. So I'm like, okay, I might have some wiggle room here because the party is on Friday. So then at first it was like, well, maybe I'm going to be cutting myself thin, but maybe I can do both. I don't think so because, I mean, to go all the way to LA, you on one side of the world, and I would probably have to leave Saturday. And then, of course, I lose the time, but I could still do it. It's possible. But then, of course, she throws in, well, on Saturday night, the entire family is going to be there to celebrate, you know, because we got birthdays in the family. We got other things going on. So at first, I thought only a couple family members were going to make it, which I'm like, all right, it won't be too bad if I at least miss the activities beforehand. And then I guess everybody cleared their schedule because they realized how big this is for her. So everybody's going to be there. Like cousins, aunts, uncles, mom, dad, everybody's going to be there. Everybody's going to be there on Saturday. And I'm like, I can't do both anymore. Like,
Yes, you can.
Yes, you can.
Wow.
Well, you also, I hate to even add to it, but you also have to be fresh for this event. Like if you're flying back east and west, this could go like horribly wrong. I mean, you have one opportunity to impress all these people. And if you're going back and forth, if that's the way you choose, your head needs to be in the right place. You need to be on your game.
I agree.
But his event's first. His event's Friday night. So you leave out, Friday, you go do your event, and then Saturday, or even, I don't like the stuff on Saturday, I wouldn't like fully commit yourself to, but as long as you're there for her show on Sunday, I think you're golden, man.
My thing is, it feels different from your dad's birthday, and not to take away from your sister's huge accomplishment, because it is a big deal. That's for her career. This is for your career. So why does her career take precedence over your career? Because you love her and she's your sister. Obviously, that's what you would say as a good brother. But when you look at all the facts on paper, these are two huge events, career-making opportunities for both of you. And is it worth walking away from yours just to watch her have hers? She's going to have hers either way.
The conflict, though, is that hers is a one-timer where he might have this opportunity again.
No,
right?
his
Right.
sister's
That's
such
fair.
a great artist. It's going to be every weekend.
And it's the first one. I think that's what makes it such a big deal. And to know how much she's always showed up to all of my shows and to support me and my journey, it just feels like everybody being there but me it'll hurt me.
This is just the price you pay for being successful and getting opportunities. Like every time you're succeeding in one area, you're dropping the ball in another. Like I'm pretty sure I saw like a Shonda Rhimes speech talk about this, where it's like while she's watching, the Grey's Anatomy season finale, she's letting her kids down at home who's graduating high school or whatever. I think this is just where you have to realize that your career is just as important as hers. And the great part about this is you still get to be there on Sunday, but you just might have to let your family down on Saturday.
Yeah, this really could evolve into a question about and a conversation about really having it all. And I do think, and I've said this before on the show, that I think you can have it all, like Shonda Rhimes was saying. I think your definition of all has to change, though. It doesn't have to necessarily be all in one area or all in the other, because you only have so much time in your day, right? So if you look at your day as a pie chart, you only have so much time, right? But you can have it all if you split it the way that is going to give you peace?
As a working mother, you can't have it all.
You can try.
You can try. You can't have it all. And I've tried and I've driven myself crazy doing that. Things are going to have to give. So,
But your definition of all changes too. You've got a great kid. You got a great family. You're doing great here. I look at your life and I see a person that has it all.
I appreciate that. I don't feel that way.
And where do you feel like you don't?
Well, so because there's always something that has to give. So having it all means I don't miss any of my kids' things. I don't miss any major work things. Having it all means like that is for me the definition of having it all. Am I happy with what I have? Absolutely. Like I have a great career and I have a great kid and I have a great marriage but I'm not going to diminish and take away the guilt of missing things. Like that stuff is going to happen and you have to accept that, because I feel like when people say you can have it all, it means every bucket is full all the time. That's just not feasible. That's not humanly possible unless you like clone yourself. So, and there's no such thing as balance either. One day work's going to get more of me. One day family's going to get more of me. And I've learned to accept that as well. So I think as long as you just recognize that there's going to have to be give and take, and you got to choose your battles. You got to pick what's right and when it's right. And this is a point where I think you can actually pull off both if you wanted to. You're just going to have to miss the family festivities on Saturday night.
These are really nice problems to have.
For sure.
And I think in situations like this, the first thing I do is like lean on gratitude. Like, oh my God, I can't believe that these are two amazing opportunities I have. And your sister also. I mean, the gratitude for that, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Tina's here to tell you got to do both. Hey, Tina, good morning.
Hey, Mo, you got to go. You got to do your event and be there, and then you can fly in and be there for your sister on Sunday. You got to miss out on Saturday. I mean, this could open so many doors for you. You got to you got to host. You got to do your event, and then, fly in for your sister on Sunday. I mean, those are two huge things for your family, and that's what you're celebrating. If you miss Saturday, it's okay. I mean, if you were my son, I'd be like, go, son, go Friday, do your thing. And then come home, if you make it home for Sunday for your sister, then great, because you got to look out for yourself, baby.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Oh, she threw the baby in there.
Yeah.
I felt it.
She cares about you.
That's what that little voice in my head has been telling me too.
Sometimes I'll ask myself, like, okay, so if I'm looking back at my life in 10 years, right, and I'm trying to put myself in that place in a decade, am I going to look back and am I going to say I have more regret for missing my event than I do my sister's event? But I don't know that you can put yourself in that place.
That's tough, man, because I feel like looking back, I probably would regret missing anything that had to do with my family as life progresses. But at the same time, you always wonder, what if I would have went?
What if
what could that have done for me? Who could I have met, right? So it's a dilemma. It's a dilemma indeed. I'm in a pickle.
Have fun in LA.
We're always constantly learning how to be a better parent, picking up nuggets here, nuggets there, Cass.
Yeah, I know this is going to come as a shock to most of you, but I actually don't know everything. And so I tried to learn from other people's life experiences, and that way I don't have to go through them by myself. Someone else does the work and I benefit. But there is one thing that, Bert, you've been talking about lately that I caught myself in a moment with my kids, and I remembered what you had talked about, and it stopped me in my tracks, and it completely changed the way I parent with my kids in this one situation. So a little bit of context. With screen time with my kids, we are trying to make it more of a family thing that we do together. And what I mean by that is instead of just sitting in front of a movie, we play video games together some evenings. Like we'll play Mario Kart as a family. So we're talking and like kind of battling, or Super Mario Brothers, where we work. There's like a new one where you work together to achieve a goal, but we let the kids lead the way. So for us, it's like a family thing that we can all do, that we all enjoy, but it's screen time. So the kids love it. And I remember Hazel was going into a level where you have to collect these stars, right? And we had already collected all the stars, all the things for that level. We had beat it. And she starts to go into that level. And I'm like, why are you going into that level? We already beat it. And she goes, for fun. And it stopped me.
What is that?
No, it seriously stopped me in my tracks. And I thought about you and your conversation about how you had been searching for hobbies, but every single hobby, it's kind of ingrained into you. How can you make it bigger and better and profit off it? And it's hard to step back and just do things for fun. And I didn't totally connect to that because I'm a lazy person at my core. And I was like, I can do things for fun and not make money off it. That's no problem. So I appreciated that was your struggle, but I was like, can't relate. And then this happened with the video game, and I was like, definitely can relate, because in my mind I'm like, why would you go replay a level when you already beat it? We gotta, next one, baby, we gotta get that high score, gotta beat it. And I realized that I was teaching my kids, even in moments of fun, it's all about what you've accomplished. And I stepped back and I really had to sit and think, and I'm like, how do I do this balance? Because I want them to have a life that's fun, and I want them to be able to do things just for them that they enjoy. And although, replaying a level of Mario is like watching paint dry for me, it's going to bore me to tears.
Right.
They're having fun. But at the same time, I want to instill a drive in them.
Ambition.
Yes, ambition, succeed. And it just came up like, it's something that I'm still kind of working through, how to find that balance and how to make sure I'm not raising kids who are happy just to be laissez-faire and not do anything. But I don't want to raise a kid that their only ambition is to, it sounds so bad. Being the best is a good thing, and ambition to be the best is also a good thing. But when that is your entire life and your only goal in life, and the rest of your life falls to the wayside because you're focused on that one thing, I personally don't find that to be healthy, because I was in that state at one point, and I don't find that to be fulfilling. And I want to teach them, like, you can choose your own path. If that's what you want, that's great. But it made me realize these micro movements and things that I say to them every single day are shaping them in ways, it's like the butterfly effect. Like, that's a small comment, but down the line, that's going to be something that sticks with them.
Yeah, and as a parent that's a little further along than you are, you won't know that they're getting it until they show it to you later on. Like, I think as parents, sometimes we feel like, our kids, are they even listening to us? And you're saying the same thing over and over and over again. And then sometimes somebody else will come in and say the exact same thing you've been saying for a decade. And all of a sudden the light bulb goes off on them. I can't believe they said it, right? But I learned this lesson here with Hollis that I've shared with you also, in that he's playing soccer right now at a very high level. In fact, he had another game last night, another hat trick.
Another one? 3?
Dang.
Wow.
Another one.
Hat trick of hat tricks.
2 games back to back with 3 goals. And he had put so much pressure on himself over the course of his first 3 years in high school. And he made a decision before this season that he was just going to have fun. I'm probably not getting a scholarship to any D1. You know what? I see some of my friends getting scouted. I'm just going to have fun. And it has totally lightened his load, and he has become a completely different player right now. And as much as I have started to plant the seeds, excuse me, I'm spitting all over myself today. Planting the seeds to, like, hey, maybe you should take this thing to the next level. Like, maybe when you go to college, you can walk on. He shuts me down. Like, he's actually having a good time without a goal of going to the next level. He's taught me that lesson.
I love that.
As I take a step back and I watch like this generation of parenting, and I'm talking about like millennials and Gen X, and watching our style of parenting versus our parents, and it's like, okay, I got to do whatever I can to make sure my kid doesn't have to go to therapy, right? Like, that pendulum has swung so far, and it always does. And so we are now so hyper fixated on everything we say and everything we do, because we want to make sure we give our kids the right tools to succeed. And we want to make sure that they can express themselves, and emotions are important, and all of that stuff is important. But I have noticed this shift that we are so wanting to be different than our parents, that the pendulum has swung so far to the other side that we are hypercritical of everything we say and do, and we overthink everything we say and do, because in the back of my head, I'm like, my son's going to go to therapy because of me.
Oh my God, I should record myself. Like, okay, yeah, you can play that level for fun if you want, but don't forget, sometimes it's really good to do things and work really hard to get the high score, but that's not everything in life. You have to do what makes you happy, but don't ever lose the drive and ambition to be an overachiever and the best, but that's not what life is about.
And how old is she?
5. So I'm definitely sending her to therapy, just not intentionally.
There's so much to pick apart here that we could talk about when it comes to parenting, and also our culture in America too, because now, as Kristen was saying, I've been saying for years about this pendulum going back and forth. It's just that we've created this atmosphere for kids now to immediately go into quote unquote depression mode, right? Where we've tried to create this atmosphere that if things aren't absolutely like perfect for them, they don't get sad about it or they don't get conflicted about it. Their go-to now is having to go to therapy. And this is something that the parents created, is that they're going through a quote unquote depression or going through a sadness that needs professional help. And I don't know that it does.
Did the safe space become too safe?
Yeah.
Like, and by making it so safe, because in order to instill grit and in order to become capable, you have to have obstacles. So if you delete all obstacles, you're going to eliminate a child that is capable and has grit. So did we make the safe place too safe?
I do think so.
I think so.
I absolutely think so.
I don't know. My parents are pretty hard on me. I don't know what safe space y'all had, but I would like to go back and redo that.
No,
It's safe now.
That's
We
the thing.
didn't.
Safe
We
now.
didn't.
We didn't have it.
Yeah.
If you had a kid, the safe space would be too safe.
Good thing I'm sterile.
You already know it. You're about to lose him for the next month. And it's irritating at this point. You've been with him for how many years, and you just know that come March Madness season, that he is going to be like a dissecting each and every bracket, each and every college team that's playing each other. It happens every year. Bart's into it too, right?
Oh, God. Yeah, we both are. So that's totally fine in our household because, I mean, I was born and raised filling out a bracket. And, of course, you put Kentucky in the championship, winning every single time.
Of course you do.
I've played every year for the last 10 years. I think I actually won one. I'm like 1 for 10. I don't know why I don't just stop.
All right, so we are looking for a very specific person here. If you are a woman that has a husband, boyfriend, whatever, that just thinks he knows it all about the tournament, he can't believe he gets one wrong every year. Maybe he's in a bracket with a bunch of friends and he wins each and every year. We have always had the hunch on this show that the most amateur can beat the professional because they just don't know. In fact, the more research you do and the more you know these teams, I think it actually hurts you.
I'm living proof of this. In college, I was in the 96th percentile 2 years in a row.
Is that right?
Yes, I predicted the final two one year. I think it was like Texas Tech and Villanova. And I was like, I don't know why I decided on those two, but the universe just led me to the finals.
It really is so annoying. As somebody that just does all the research and you're looking at all the stats, and then she comes in and she's like, I'm just going to pick all the cat teams. And then Villanova ends up winning. It's so annoying, right? So here's what we want to do this year. Something a little different. We've used kids in the past.
We have.
That have beat the adults, right? Coy Wire, who does sports on CNN, lost to a kid one year, right? Put it on CNN and the whole deal. This year, we're not going to use kids. We want your man to go ahead and compete against Abby's cat.
Meow, 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 meow. Meow, 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 meow.
How are we going to do it this year?
All right, so we need a woman, or if you're the dude in the relationship, to call us up 1-855-BERT-SHOW or go to thebertshow.com. If you think you are a savant at brackets and you want to challenge Abby's cat, then we need you to sign up. Now, the way Abby's cat is going to choose is for each pairing, she's going to fold up and curl up little balls of paper and throw it out there. And whichever piece of paper the cat chooses, that's who the cat is choosing for to win that matchup, right?
Emphasis on choosing, because she's probably going to put it in her mouth and I'm going to have to dig it out.
But here's the deal. We want something on the line here. So if there's something that, if you're the guy you've been wanting to get, or you're the woman in the relationship and you've been wanting to get, and this is the perfect opportunity to pit each other together, then that's why. So if you want to have a girls' weekend and do like a spa getaway or whatever, but your husband's looking at the finances and being like, no, we can't afford that right now. We need to tighten up, blah, blah, blah. This is your chance to call in and be like, he thinks he knows everything about brackets. If Abby's cat can beat him, I get to go on my spa weekend.
Betty is 5 months old. I don't even think she has a prefrontal cortex. She's just going to be going off straight vibes.
I also think that, something's got to be in it for him. If he wins, he gets more than just bragging rights. We thought, you know what? Let's hook him up with tickets to his favorite college team.
Oh, okay.
What were you thinking?
I was thinking whatever. I wanted to make it personal to them. So if he's been wanting a green egg for the longest time, but you've been saying no, we don't need one. We have a fine grill out back, but the thing's really falling apart and it's rusted from here to there. Whatever he really wants and desires, but you've been putting the kibosh on, then that's what he gets to get.
If I want a green egg versus courtside to my favorite team, I'm going courtside.
Courtside
every time.
Don't sleep on the big green egg. Oh my God!
Look at you,
I got
all
one
serious.
for Chad for Father's Day last year. Best gift ever. We use it daily.
My dad has one. He's obsessed with it.
It's so good.
Okay, that's good for a family memory, but courtside,
Courtside
is courtside. So we're looking for somebody that specifically has a guy that knows he's going to go in there, and he spends so much time on it. And the way that we can humble him is he goes against Abby's cat, and my money is on Kitty.
Are you going to use Della or Betty?
I'm going to use Betty. I feel like Della's too sentient. I think she's the smarter of the two. And what we've learned from these brackets is that you need the dumbest of the bunch to pick, just straight off of vibes and aura. And so Betty, being the 5-month-old kitten that she is, I think she is the correct pick.
Very cool. So, and when are you going to ball up the teams and have her make her picks for her bracket?
Whenever y'all tell me to do it, I'll go home and I'll start crunching them up.
That would be humbling, man. Okay, so
you lost to a 5-month-old kitten.
Oh, you can't play again after that. You got to retire.
That really hurts.
We should also get a billboard and put it up after the tournament's over.
Oh, I like that.
And be like, I lost to Abby's cat.
All right, so let's do this just in the interest of time. Why don't you guys email us later on? We'll have a link up to it at thebertshow.com. Tell us about yourself. Tell us about your husband. And then we'll get the two of you guys on maybe tomorrow to commit to this whole thing. And then we'll present them with the brackets.
Yep.
We present your cat with the brackets. And then it's game on. Okay? Hit us up at thebertshow.com. I've got $100 right here. I just don't want to give it to you. We call this Lose Bert's Money. We need 3 contestants right now. 1-855-BERT Show. I'm even going to give you your superficial trivia question right now. And then we will see if you guys can get it right? With each incorrect answer, I will take $10 off of that $100 until you guys get it right, or we are down to 0, which makes my business manager, Amy, very happy. All right, here is your question today. You can call in 1-855-BERT Show. Single guys are 23% more likely to have this for breakfast than a married man. What is it? All right,
good one.
1-855-BERT Show.
I feel like this is attainable.
I think this one is attainable. Somebody should win some money today. All right?
Interesting.
So while you guys are calling up, Cassie.
So to give you guys a little peek behind the scenes at the show, every week we all in here come in with stories and pitch them as content. And part of that is, saying what the emotions of the break are. So Kristen, who does this schedule, can help balance everything out. So the emotions for this story that I pitched this week were all caps, and it says, joy! Oh, dear God, joy!
What are we going to do with it all?
Joy!
What can we do with that emotion?
Because after 11 months of waiting, there is finally repair movement on my house.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
It only took 11 months. That's
Only
it.
11.
Who cares? Let's not look at the 11. Let's just enjoy and celebrate right now. For context, for those that don't know.
So last April, I had 5 trees, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fall on my house. One came in through the roof. It actually shifted the entire house on its foundation by an inch. And so it's kind of structurally not sound. Then there was water damage from it as well, which took over the basement and all the stuff in there, including my wedding dress. So that's fun. And we have just been battling with insurance on getting what we are owed to fix the house, to bring it back to exactly how it was before the damage happened.
Which is so weird because usually when you call the insurance companies, they come over with a truck of cash just to say, hey, we'll take you at your word. Do with all this money what you want.
We must have gotten a weird one because they don't return our calls. They don't return our lawyers' calls. So I don't know.
Weird.
But I sure get their bill every single month on time. But anyway, that bitterness aside, we have been waiting patiently to try and get some movement on the house. And the insurance company has asked for 5 different inspections. They have sent unqualified people out, like genuinely sent a roofer out who's like, I can't get on that roof without an entire team. I don't know why they sent me out here. Like, bananas story up and down.
What's the insurance cliche that we're always rattling off about how to negotiate when they negotiate with you?
Defend, deny, delay.
Right?
Or
Yeah.
deny.
Depose.
Yeah, so they denied us our requests. They defended why they weren't doing it, and they delayed why they literally don't return calls. They don't return emails. I mean, there was a period over last summer where it was a month where Chad was calling like every other day, and they just weren't responding at all.
Because they figure they're gonna wait you out and you're
Yes.
gonna give up. Is what they're banking on is you giving up and just taking care of the repairs yourself because
Yes.
you're not gonna want to be displaced for 11 months from your home. But they haven't met Cassie Young.
They haven't met me in the trailer. So, which we've been in the trailer for like 6 months in the RV, and it's been fun. But I am so glad it's been fun.
Yeah,
it's fun.
I'm guessing it was fun for the first 48 hours.
Totally love my children waking me up multiple times a night. But finally, they have started the process. Now, this first step is like clearing out everything out of the whole house because it basically all got damaged, and the stuff from the roof, we have to replace all the furniture, everything. So we got to take everything out of the house. But it is starting. So I'm looking at it as an opportunity to declutter, get rid of some junk that we will not replace, we don't need, and then just replace what we do need. And I'm really excited. It started.
All right, at least it started. The
Yes.
process has started
Yes.
now. Congrats.
Thank you.
Okay. All right, let's play around and lose Bert's money. All right, it's a very superficial trivia question. All you got to do is answer this one today, and I think we can get ourselves a winner today. Single guys are 23% more likely to have this for breakfast than a married man. What is it? All right, our phones are all jacked up today, so I don't know who I'm talking to. Good morning. Who?
Olivia?
Olivia. Hey, Olivia.
I think it's a protein shake.
Oh, hold on one
Okay,
second.
whoa.
I want to get to know you.
Olivia here for the money.
Yeah,
She's not playing games.
Here for Bert's money.
Yeah, I don't want to feel used. I have felt that way in the
she's
past.
Ask the man how he's doing.
No foreplay for you.
Hey, Olivia, where are you calling us from?
Warner Robins, Georgia.
Warner Robins, Georgia. Okay. The answer to this again, single guys, 23% more likely to have this for breakfast than a married man for $100. You said it's what?
A protein shake?
A protein shake. Absolutely not.
What? Huh. Okay.
Okay, thank you. All right, let's go to caller number 2. It's what? Good morning. Who is this?
Brittany.
Brittany.
Hey, Brittany. Good morning.
Hey. Good
Hi.
morning. How are you guys?
Good. Where are you calling us from?
I'm calling from Monroe, Georgia.
All right, Monroe.
Thank you for
represent.
coming in a little more gentle than Olivia.
We appreciate that.
Sometimes I just need to be held.
That's understandable.
That's all I want to be held. All right, single guys, 23% more likely to have this for breakfast than a married man.
I'm going to say cereal.
Cereal. Nope. Not cereal.
Man.
All right. So now we're down to $80 for Elizabeth. Good morning, Elizabeth. Where are you from?
Good morning. I'm in Norcross.
Okay, from Norcross. Let's go, Elizabeth. Single guys, 23% more likely to have this for breakfast than a married man. It is what?
A Pop-Tart.
A Pop-Tart. Yeah, man.
I thought of that.
Good, dude. Frosted strawberry Pop-Tart. Beat it. You can't.
Back in the day, that was lifesaver.
For back in the day, was the day Monday?
Wait, what? You
He's like, yeah.
Back in the day.
You mean 24 hours ago?
That is not correct.
All right, we are back to Olivia for $70.
Coming in slowly this time with takeout.
Takeout. Okay, takeout is a good answer. From like the night before or whatever.
So leftovers?
Yeah. That is not correct.
Fast food? No.
Not
You can't
correct.
throw out
can't
three.
change the answer in the
okay.
middle. Yeah,
Let's-
that's not how it works.
All right.
All right, Brittany for 60.
I'm going to say nothing at all. They skip breakfast.
All right. Ooh, Brittany, that was
my
mine.
answer. That was my answer. too.
yeah.
Your answer. Okay. No.
Oh, okay.
Oh, sorry,
Oh,
Brittany.
Oh, you're
Nothing
wrong.
for nothing.
Nothing. Zero. Nada. Who that?
All right, Elizabeth for 50.
Okay, I'm going with bacon.
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 Give me the protein. Give me the meat.
Good.
So you're saying single guys are 23% more likely to have bacon for breakfast than a married man. That is not the correct answer.
They,
you
they ain't
seen
making
his-
no bacon.
Yeah. Have you seen a single man try to make bacon? No.
All right, we are back to Olivia for 40.
Pancakes.
Pancakes. Pancakes.
Who are y'all dating?
Yeah, right?
I ate a lot of pancakes.
Would
when
you
I was
make
single.
yourself? Would you?
Yeah.
Not the correct answer.
All you gotta do is get that Bisquick shake thing and pour some water in it.
That's it.
Got it.
Yeah.
I was thinking about
Or
those
some
little
milk, either way.
microwavable Eggo ones.
Okay.
Those things are like rubber. Little
They're
discs.
so bad.
So horrible.
There's no preservatives in those at all.
There's also not one natural ingredient. That is not correct. I am sorry.
All right, Brittany for $30.
Let's go, Brittany.
I'm going to say a piece of toast.
A piece of toast.
A piece
okay.
of toast.
One singular piece of toast.
That's the piece. That's too much. Not too much toast.
Are we putting any butter on said
Nothing.
toast?
No avocado, no butter, no
No butter,
nothing.
just straight toast.
Just straight
up
straight toast.
That is not the correct answer.
All right, Elizabeth for $20.
Okay, yogurt.
Yogurt.
Okay.
Yogurt. Yogurt is not the correct answer.
Too healthy.
Way too healthy.
Yeah.
All right, here's our last and only hope, Olivia for $10.
Those like frozen breakfast sandwiches.
Oh, like a Jimmy Dean sausage. Oh, okay.
Right.
Yep.
That's a really good answer, but not the correct one. So I get to keep my cash.
Hey, they covered everything.
Hot Pockets? No one said Hot
Not
Pockets.
hot. I will tell you this: Pop-Tarts was as close to the answer as we're going to get.
A muffin?
Not a muffin.
Frosted mini wheats.
Not a frosted mini wheat.
Toaster strudel?
Not a toaster strudel.
What?
A Pop-Tart's
a croissant.
Not a croissant.
A pain au chocolat.
Not the whatever you just said.
Hold on.
Hold up.
Hold up.
No pain of chocolate.
Closest to a Pop-Tart. Oh, a granola bar?
No.
What am I missing?
Single guys are 23% more likely to have this for breakfast than a married man. It is
No.
Grilled cheese sandwich.
What? How did you go from Pop-Tarts?
I don't know, Abby.
Do not tell us.
Hot Pocket.
No, we already
No,
said
said
Hot
that.
Pocket.
Said
Hot
that.
Pocket.
I got so
You
excited.
came in strong.
I got it, you guys.
French toast.
not French toast.
Oh, good guess.
But it's closest to a Pop-Tart? I'm like
I mean,
literally
it's in
standing.
the same kind of.
I have a feeling it's not close to a
category-ish.
Pop-Tart at all.
Donut.
If we
It's not a donut.
Okay, if we are standing in we were at the grocery store and we're in the Pop-Tart aisle, is it near the Pop-Tarts?
It's probably an aisle over or two over.
swear
You'll probably get it on the way out before the cashier.
I swear to God, if you say like
A candy bar?
A candy bar.
Are you kidding me? What?
It is a candy bar.
I would never guess that.
Yes. I'm feeling guilty for having to renegotiate a contract I made with myself just a couple of weeks ago. So this is my kid's senior year of soccer. I ain't going to miss a game. This is it, man.
Yeah.
I'm not going to miss a game. Not home, not away, nothing.
You only got 18 summers, Bert. Don't miss a one.
So I've made myself a promise. I am not missing this. Who knows if he's going to be playing in college? He isn't really expecting himself to play in college, so I'm going to be there, okay? Hey, I took a look at the schedule. Mm-hmm. He had a game in Fayetteville last night.
That's close, right?
That's over an hour away from Atlanta in rush hour traffic. So you're looking at an hour and a half or 2 hours down there. And then the game, then another hour on the way back without traffic. So
17 years ago, you should have wrapped it up. Sorry. Whoa.
All the way back.
Wait a second.
Wait. How did we get there?
another story for another time. So I crossed that one off the list and I gave myself a little bit of a break. Hey, man, I got to get up at 4:30 in the morning, man. Can't be home at 10:30 or 11 o'clock. So I scratched that one off. And then looked a little bit further down that list and there's a game coming up in LaGrange, Georgia, which is 70 miles outside of Atlanta at like 7 o'clock at night. That one has been scratched off the list also. So I think if I make like 75% of the games, it'd be a really good senior season.
But you know,
I can't be there for it all, man.
75%, huh? That's where we landed now.
but
I
you know
stopped
what?
at LaGrange. I didn't even look down the rest of the list. I don't even know what else is out there.
But you know what percentage he's going to remember?
Yeah, the 25% that I'm not there. That's okay. You know what, son? Okay, good. I'll give you money for therapy for that. I'm not going to make those games.
He's getting hat tricks every game, man.
Maybe because the pressure is off because I'm not there. He got one last night.
Oh, okay.
He should be thanking me.
Okay. All right.
All right. Jody here needs our help with the War of the Roses. She already has a great hunch because she thinks that the mistress is kind of laying down those breadcrumbs, letting her know what's going on. But she wants concrete proof and wanted us to do a War of the Roses. Hey, Jody. Good morning.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. What you got going on?
What you guys say all the time is so true. Women play chess, men play checkers. And I don't think my boyfriend is cheating. I absolutely know it. And I know this because the woman he's cheating with wanted me to find out. But I just need a little more ammo before I confront him.
Okay, so what indication did the quote-unquote mistress give you that he was messing around?
Okay, this is a good one. So the other day I get in this car, okay, normal. I reach up to pull the visor down to check my makeup, and this piece of jewelry falls right into my lap. And it wasn't like, oh, there's an earring that was lost in the seat or like a necklace got tangled in the seatbelt. I mean, this was placed up there intentionally. Like, whoever she is definitely put it there. So knowing that I would put the visor down and it would fall and I would find it. And
ooh, that is some serious chess.
Sneaky.
Yeah. But it was a gold bracelet. It was like really thin, delicate. It had a small heart charm, which just makes me want to throw up. And then you just like looking at it, it's the kind of jewelry that you don't like forget by accident. Like it's too, like for me, it would have been like too meaningful. Like I would have been crazy if I thought that I had lost it, but it hit my lap and I knew it, and my stomach dropped and I felt like I couldn't breathe. I mean, it wasn't mine, this thing, and like who else is in my boyfriend's car but me? And it wasn't something he bought for me. Like otherwise, it would be on me.
In that moment when it hit your lap, he ain't go, surprise.
Happy Valentine's Day in March.
You didn't see that coming, babe.
Don't you know leprechauns leave gifts now for St. Patty's Day?
Forgot.
That would have been fast.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what he did. I was so sick to my stomach. I couldn't even look at him. I didn't even say anything. I think I was like frozen. And it just like, I guess I didn't even need to say anything. Like I knew the truth. This confirmed it. There wasn't any point in asking him. And in the moment, like I just knew he would have lied. He would have like made up some excuse or tried to like gaslight me into thinking I was crazy. But this thing has just fallen into my lap. So I just sat there with this bracelet in my lap, knowing exactly what was going on. And this other woman clearly wants me to know about her. Mm-hmm. She's not some secret side chick hoping to stay hidden. She made her move. She left her jewelry where I would find it. So I could see for myself what kind of, I hate to even use the word man, because like boy that I'm dealing with. She wants him to get caught, and he's about to. And I need your help because I need to catch him in the act. So can you do one of those War of the Roses and see who he sends the flowers to? Not
only can we do it, we've already done it for you.
Oh, my God. Okay.
All right.
Okay.
So if you hang out for a couple of minutes here, we will try to get you concrete proof to see if he is messing around on you. Or could just be a female mechanic at Jiffy Lube that just happened to put it up there. She's wondering today, where is my necklace?
I know they hate when that happens,
Don't
man. Right? Yeah.
So Jody here is fairly convinced that her boyfriend's mistress gave a pretty big breadcrumb as to their relationship. Yes, Abby?
Yes, she did, or he did, or the mistress did. Basically, she had this dainty gold bracelet, and in order to tip off Jody that her boyfriend has a little side side piece action. She put the gold bracelet in the, what's it called? The folding thing with the mirror in your car.
Visor.
So the visor. So when she opened it fell straight into her lap and she was like, oh, I'm getting cheated on. That sucks. And now she wants us to do our War of the Roses, where we send an email to the cheating man and see if he's going to send roses to either the mistress or his lady.
Yeah, I mean, that is a very like women play chess, men play checkers, because like the first thing I do when I get into the passenger seat of the car 9 times out of 10 is I pull that mirror down. I pull the visor down and I open the mirror and I look at my makeup. Just if you're going somewhere. I mean, it's like a habit.
Because dudes never use that. No, man. If I'm going to look to see if there's something in my teeth or whatever, it's going to be the rearview mirror.
Yeah, no.
Wait, what? That's what you use?
Yeah. Would you use the visor?
Yeah, if I needed to see the mirror. I never really need to see it, but if I needed a mirror, I would pull it down.
You ever even owned a car?
Yes, for 16 years, man.
So
Been a long time, though.
So you're asking your Uber driver, hey,
Cars-
can I go up there and look at my teeth in your mirror?
No, when I had a car, I used the visor. Cars had visors 10 years ago, okay, Abby? They had visors.
This really is a slick move. Maybe tomorrow we should ask this question, like, what were the breadcrumbs that either you left or the mistress left? Because dudes we're not capable of this.
Nah,
Oh my God, here's a really good one I just saw. It was a woman, she was, I think, cleaning her windows, and then she saw a bunch of like sucker marks on it. You know, like if you have the back of your phone, there's a special sticker you can get where you can suction cup it to the window, and it's called like an octobuddy or something like that. So it's got like a very distinct pattern of like 9 suckers, and only women generally use those to film themselves. And she's like, I don't own that. My husband doesn't own that. My kids don't have it. So someone's been coming over to her house and like putting it on the bathroom mirror, on her windows in her kitchen. And she found the proof everywhere.
What happened to just like sending her a DM? Hey, your boy's cheating. Like, why?
There's no proof.
Yeah. Well,
Did she do that on purpose so the other woman would find it, or was it that just her like her spidey senses and her detective?
Her spidey senses, but
Yeah.
then later she went into the mirror and it was like clearly outlined, and she's like, all right, I don't no longer think it's so secret.
Didn't we have a listener on years and years ago, might have been before you guys' time, from a woman confessing that when she would sit in the passenger seat of her man's car, she used to put her feet on the windshield to signify that she was there.
The
toes on there, because most
Wow.
dudes don't generally do that.
the toe print.
Even some toe print. That's next level. That's next level.
All right, Jody, so you called us up and she left you this breadcrumb in the visor and you wanted concrete proof, so you came to us to do the War of the Roses. We got all that right?
Yep.
All right, Kristen, take it from here.
All right, so we sent a fake promotional email to the email address Jody provided us for her boyfriend. He's offered a free bouquet of flowers, able to choose from several options with pictures. In exchange, he's asked to share some promo codes for a percentage off a future order. We make it seem as legit as possible. And his options were, because the gold bracelet did have a tiny gold heart on it.
Here we go.
Golden heart. A delicate and romantic bouquet featuring soft yellow roses, white lilies, and baby's breath wrapped in elegant gold tissue, a subtle yet heartfelt way to express love and admiration. Then there's Midnight Passion. A bold and sultry arrangement of deep red roses, burgundy dahlias, and black calla lilies accented with dark greenery, perfect for an intense, secretive romance. Next is Sweet Serenity, a charming mix of pink peonies, blush roses, and lavender sprigs. Tied together with a satin ribbon, this bouquet radiates warmth, care, and gentle affection.
oh, that one sounds pretty.
I know it does, doesn't it?
I like that one.
I was a fan of that one as well.
You guys realize it's not real, right?
It could be.
It is in my heart. Wild Desire is the last option. A vibrant explosion of exotic orchids, fiery orange tulips, and deep purple irises, symbolizing passion, adventure, and an untamed connection. Jody, we sent this email at 9:55 yesterday. There was no response. So we followed up with another email at 12:45. Took him a couple hours, but we finally got him to bite.
Okay.
He chose Golden Heart.
We know what that means.
What?
He's cheating.
No.
Wait, what?
Sending it to you.
Because the subconscious in his brain was like, my side chick has a golden heart bracelet, and that's crazy that there's a golden heart bouquet.
Crazy.
That's what a coinkydink.
All right, he did choose Golden Heart, a delicate and romantic bouquet featuring soft yellow roses, white lilies, baby's breath wrapped in elegant gold tissue, a subtle yet heartfelt way to express love and admiration. He set delivery for tomorrow to a work address. And Jody, he is not sending them to you.
What? That's shocking.
You really sold that one.
All right, Jody, he's sending them to a woman named Lindsay. And the note on the card says, take your time to think about it. It's not for anybody else to understand but us. Just know I meant what I said, and I hope you like the bracelet.
Ooh, cryptic.
That bracelet was a gift from him to her. I'm going to vomit.
Yeah.
I honestly think I'm going to vomit.
Jody, do you happen to know anybody by the name of Lindsay?
Yeah. But there's no way. Absolutely no way.
Who is Lindsay?
That's his stepsister. But no, there's no way he would do that. I'm sure of it.
Stranger things have happened.
Okay, that's an interesting pivot.
Know
Where are
she
you
works?
calling us from?
Do you know where Lindsay works?
Yeah. I mean, I'd rather not say the name if that's okay, but she's a hostess at a chain restaurant.
Okay, so can we back up for just 1 second? It's all happening very fast. Read what he wrote on the card.
Take your time to think about it. It's not for anybody else to understand but us. Just know I meant when I said, and I hope you like the bracelet.
It's not for anyone to understand but us. Might be something you need to explain to your stepsister.
It makes sense. Is that a dress-given chain?
Jody, what does she do again?
She's a hostess at a chain restaurant.
It's her.
Oh.
It's got to be a leap of faith here. You think that
We're sending it to a chain restaurant.
You're kidding. Please
you
don't
kidding
say it's
me?
Texas Roadhouse.
I'm not disclosing the name of said location.
And
It's
Don't ruin the
obviously on the
rules.
chart.
just when you think it could,
Where you're
Where
here.
you keep it in the family. I'm sorry, Jody.
and we're laughing at her
Here's
life
the
is
great part.
yeah.
Here's the great part. He took his stepsister to work the other day because her car's being repaired. She left that bracelet for me to find.
Yeah, his stepsister did.
Well, this is fairly icky.
I'd say so.
Yeah.
The fact that she why would
Scott, maybe there's nothing. It's nothing romantic. Maybe there's something else.
It was a golden heart.
gosh.
Don't be
Okay.
ridiculous.
Jody, not that this makes it any better. Please tell me they didn't grow up together, right?
Oh, no. I mean, it's only been like a few years. It's not like they were kids and they grew up in the same house, but I'm sick. It's creepy AF.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I'm gonna say that, yeah.
Yep,
I'm
I think
so
we're all going to
sorry.
co-sign on that one.
What, Cassie? Cassie wants to say it, but she doesn't want to say it.
I think you have a beautiful opportunity here. Do you have her number?
I can get it. Yeah.
I think you should just text her and say, I know everything. Do you care to explain yourself?
Why would you send that to her? She left the bracelet. She's trying to out him. She's on her side. She's literally on her side
I
by
don't
trying
think
to.
I don't think she's on her side. I think she wants him and she wants them to break up first. All right, fine. Text him instead. I know everything.
But the card says, take your time to think about it. It's not for anybody else to understand but us. It sounds like he's trying to convince his stepsister to date him.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, nasty.
Yeah, disgusted.
Okay.
I'm out. I don't want anything to do with it. We're done. I'm out.
I think that's a good decision.
I think we all.
I think that's a solid,
agree?
solid decision.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I'm a cosign.
Yeah. See you, Jody. All right,
you,
that's a
guys.
hard pivot right
Good
there.
luck.
All right,
Good luck.
Good luck with that. Coming up in
No,
a
I
couple
meant
of
you
minutes.
trying to pivot.
Y'all both need it.
We kind of skipped over this kind of fast the other day because we were all shocked by it. We sent the youth group down to Savannah for St. Patrick's Day with a series of tasks to do that they could have done or not done, and they were trying to accumulate some points for $1,000. And one of the things we threw on the list, not really thinking anybody was going to take us up on it, was kiss each other. 2 youth group members make out with each other. And when they told us on the air the other day, I think we were kind of floored that Jackson and Rebecca actually kissed and got their 100 points. So we didn't get to ask you about the time, how it occurred, whose idea was it. So before we get into Rebecca's strange reaction to it, we need some dates.
Hey, I'm just as shocked as you guys are. I mean, I was running through the list of, challenges with my girlfriend and like kind of just running down what we had to do. And I was like, this one's impossible. This one's doable. Making out with a coworker, that one's definitely impossible, because the original joke was that I was like, I'm going to try to make out with Mikey. I think that'd be like the funniest way for this to happen. But apparently his girlfriend said no. So then I was like, all right.
I do love that all of you, everybody that's in a committed relationship, ran these shenanigans by their significant other.
You had to. Just to be safe. And then to my surprise, she was like, I don't really care what you do. Like, do what you got to do. Just because, I don't know. Her and I are obviously very secure in our relationship. She knows that it's, for the bid. She knows sort of the context behind it. So she had no problem with whatever it was that we were doing.
You need to propose to her like yesterday.
Yeah.
Oh, I know.
For the good of the show.
I just want to establish, like, you can be secure in your relationship and still not want your significant other to make out with a person they work with.
Totally valid point.
And you can still have security in your relationship and not want that. That's okay.
Absolutely. And so also when the youth group was kind of debriefing on all these challenges, it was also a part of it that was like, all right, this one is also not going to happen between one of us. None of us are going to make out with each other. But I had gotten that news sort of the day before that we left to go. And then we were sitting at lunch, as Rebecca was saying yesterday, and I kind of just brought it up. I was like, by the way, I got the green light to kiss one of you guys. So who's it going to be? And everyone's sort of looking around, and there's only a certain subset of people who are single there. And one of them being Rebecca was like, I guess it's got to be me.
So this was agreed upon, or was it spontaneous at that point?
At that point, I didn't really know what was going to happen. We kind of were joking about it throughout the day of like, oh, Rebecca, remember, like, you got to get ready for our big kiss later on in the night. But like, I didn't know how it was going to go down, or if it was even going to go down. Is that how you felt?
This is how all of my rom-com books start. Two coworkers reluctantly being forced to kiss.
I literally was just having that thought. I'm like, oh, it's such a meet cute.
And only one of you guys is drinking over the weekend. Rebecca does not. And so, Jackson, I'm assuming this occurred after a couple of shots?
Yeah, so we had been kind of going all day. This is post Katie's Uber incident. This is at the very end of the night. And the Airbnb that we stayed at had this really nice like backyard patio area with some chairs that we were all hanging out at. And so Mikey has his speakers out there playing his terrible music, and we're all having some drinks out there. And then I don't know, like, it was late in the night, definitely, feeling myself pretty good because of all the drinks that we've been having all day. And then it sort of just popped into somebody's head and was just like, oh, the kiss still hasn't happened.
What I remember, we're all pretty drunk at this point, except for me, who's kind of sitting there. But when you sit around with like a bunch of drunk people, even if you're sober, you start feeling drunk yourself, which is what was happening to me. Jackson hadn't mentioned it, like, for a while, for hours. So I thought it had passed us by and that was not ever going to happen. Suddenly he jumps up and he has like this huge bottle of like whiskey or bourbon in his hand. And he's like, all right, Rebecca. He takes like a giant swig of it. And he's like, come here. So we're like, oh, okay, it's going down. Mikey like fumbles for his like phone so he can record it. And yeah, that's how it went down. The makeout just like happened.
Okay. Can I just say, I wasn't expecting the clip to be as romantic as it was. Because you guys spliced up a whole montage of the weekend. And I thought it was going to be you two like reluctantly touching lips like, Jackson went for it. He like grabbed you. Rebecca has him by the shoulder. I'm like, this is if you squint the left eye, if you squint the right eye and like open it a little bit, it's The Notebook. Oh my God. I've waited 7 years.
I need you to stop making this into something that it's not.
I don't think you're helping Jackson right now.
I don't think I got that far along on the video, but
you
I will have
see
to
them
today.
kiss in the video?
I didn't
see it either.
They like ran towards each other as if they were like, as if Jackson was coming home from war.
Damn, bro.
And Rebecca was his bisexual woman waiting for him, waiting on the homestead, like, my lover.
Okay, no joke. I felt the same way as everyone. Just because it's not like you two are standing standing there awkwardly in front of each other and you just lean your heads in and you go, "Mwah." No, you're on one side of the patio, she's on the other. You glide toward each other and then you like have this embrace and it's like he's going to put his hand behind your head and you're putting your hand on his shoulder and there is no hesitation. And you guys go in and then the blur hits right over your face and then it's just like
It had no business being that sensual.
It specifically said make out, and then also it's one of those things where if you sort of half commit, it makes it like 1,000 times more awkward.
Yeah.
So it's just you got to go for it if you're going to go for it, right?
Good bounce back, brother.
Yeah, like we had to touch tongues.
I'm trying to, guys.
But I watched it and I was like,
Whoa!
it took me by surprise.
I think something took Rebecca by surprise also, your emotions
Yes.
of the whole thing.
So when we got the challenges that you guys wanted us to do, there were 2 about kissing. And when I heard them, I was like, okay, well, I'm not doing that. That's not going to happen for me this weekend. I won't even try to do that.
And why is that?
And that's because of everything that I went through. I have been absolutely terrified to even try to kiss anyone. And that's because I battled tongue cancer, as a lot of you guys know. And the treatment for that meant that a lot of changes happened in my mouth. I had to get tongue surgery where a portion of my tongue was removed surgically and reconstructed with tissue from my arm. So that's like it's a pretty big chunk of one side of my tongue that's literally kind of tethered. I can't move my tongue like it used to move. I can't really poke it out or anything like that. And I feel like it's kind of like a Frankenstein tongue. I can't feel that side. I don't know what it feels like if another person was to stick their tongue in there. So that's like 1/4 of my tongue. That's kind of like a little strange, a little abnormal now. So the idea of kissing someone was so foreign and so frightening to me that even Friday when we were out at the bar, there was a person that I was talking to and I knew if I had initiated a kiss, they would have been totally down for it. But I didn't do it because I was so scared that they were going to recoil in horror or find it disgusting. And that would have been devastating to me because I don't know, am I supposed to say, hey, just a heads up, my tongue's kind of weird. Just want to let you know before I
When's the last time you've kissed somebody?
Oh, it was before I got cancer. It was, it's been like 2.5 years probably. Like it's been quite a while. So when Jackson brought it up on Saturday and he said, oh, I've been given the green light to make out with someone. I wasn't even like a contender at that point. I know his preference was Mikey. Unfortunately, that didn't go down. So I was thinking about it all day.
Really?
Not to be weird about me thinking about kissing Jackson.
No. I totally get what you're saying.
Yeah, I was thinking about it all day. I was so nervous. And when we didn't really bring it up again, I almost felt like, okay, it's fine. That's fine. We're not going to do it. So then when he jumped up and he was like, Rebecca, come here, I was honestly pretty terrified. As we walked up and I approached, God bless Jackson, I really didn't try to make a great kiss. I just tried to go for it like as much as possible. And it was a brief makeout, but as you guys saw, we went for it.
Yes, you did.
We went for it. There was tongue. It was short, but there was tongue. And then it was over and we're all laughing. Everyone's having fun. And I sit down and immediately I just kind of put him on the spot. And I'm like, so was it weird? Like, was it freaky? Did you notice anything gross? And you can be honest with me, And Jackson was so kind to me, which is so funny because he's such a jerk. No, I'm just kidding. But he was so patient and he was answering all of my questions, telling me that he thought it was fine and he didn't really notice anything. And, maybe now that you're sober, that may have changed. You can let me know. But honestly, it just meant so much to me because Jackson's my coworker, but I also consider him my friend at this point. You can also tell me if that's wrong.
Depends what you say in the next 3 minutes.
So the fact that I got to rip this Band-Aid off with someone that I like and trust platonically, where there was no pressure, and we were able to sit down, and he was honestly able to tell me that things were cool. And even the next day, I was like, okay, I'm gonna send this to the show and see if they want me to talk about it. Like, is that okay with you? Was it cool? Are you sure everything was fine? And he texted me and he was like, I promise you it was fine. And if you ever need reassurance, like, just ask me again and I'll tell you again and again that it was totally fine. And that's I'm gonna forever be grateful, honestly. I'll never be more grateful for a pity kiss ever again.
Jackson, were you expecting that kind of reaction?
Absolutely not. I mean, it really honestly took me back, because after all the laughs were like done afterwards and we recorded some post interview of like how it went, whatever, Rebecca's sitting there and she sort of starts breaking down while asking the question. And it took me by surprise, because like when mics are off, we're all joking around with each other all the time. And we say some pretty terrible things to each other, all in good fun, right?
That's what friends do, right?
Yeah, right. And friends are ribbing each other, and that's always part of it. But I've always known that, like, this whole subject of everything that she's been through has always been something that nobody ever touches, right? And so because it's such like an off limits thing, a lot of times I forget about it, because Rebecca's Rebecca, and she's, ever since her recovery and everything, it's easy to sort of forget what you had all gone through. And when the reaction happened, it really sort of put things into perspective of like how much this affects you on the day to day, and how I didn't even consider that as being an issue for the kiss or anything like that. And now hearing that you had been thinking about it all day and was like nervous about it, like I probably should have asked a little bit more ahead of time, but kind of just went by it, in the moment. And then the next day I could still tell, because she had texted me and was still sort of looking for that reassurance, where again, it reaffirmed to me like how much this actually meant. And so she thanked myself, she thanked my girlfriend even, and I don't know, I think.
Oh, what a cute, weird text.
Yeah,
Thanks for letting your boyfriend kiss me. Is there a Hallmark card for that?
I know, it's such an odd situation. Like, you couldn't make this entire thing up even if you wanted to, but I'm happy the way that it went down, and I'm happy that I was able to give you a little bit of reassurance there.
Thank you. You can write that off on your taxes, that kiss. It was very charitable.
There's my charitable donation.
That's beautiful.
I don't know that I have ever watched a movie or a TV show where the final scene left me so incredibly gutted like the TV show I binged over the weekend. I mean, you talk about bawling. You talk about leaving the show when it's over and the credits and are rolling. You ever know a movie like that when it's so sad at the end, like the credits are rolling and the entire theater is quiet because you're trying to process your emotions?
I'm trying to remember, and I can't. The last time I was like at a movie like that at a theater. I've definitely done that in the privacy of my own home.
Can't remember the last time I voluntarily went out of my way to go see a sad movie. Like, life's sad enough. I don't need to watch it on screen too.
I didn't know what I was signing up for, and I've been dying to talk about this show now for a couple of days, and I've been obsessed with it and talking about it and posting about it nonstop on Instagram. Adolescence on Netflix is gutting, and it is not what I expected it to be. So what I thought I was signing up for was sort of a superficial mystery crime type deal with a whole bunch of pivots and whodunits, where you don't know at the end who did it until the very last scene. That's what I thought I was signing up for. Wow. It is so much more than that. So it's a 4-episode series, and it's about a kid that is accused of murder in his town in England.
How old is a kid?
13?
Oh,
13. When you watch this, just keep this in the back of your mind if you do watch it. It's one of the best acting jobs I've ever seen in my life by this kid, and it's his first movie role.
Wow.
I didn't even realize that until a couple of days ago. But it's so much more than a whodunit. You guys, I don't even know how to describe it, except it brings you right into the real life situations of a family that is dealing with the possibility of their 13-year-old committing murder. And it does it in such an emotional and real way that it's one of the most jarring movies I have ever watched in my life. It is an emotional roller coaster, and I was exhausted by it at the end.
Do you recommend for people who have young kids, though?
Not 4. Like Jimmy's age, you're going to have a whole bunch of other problems by the time he's 16.
Okay. Because there is certain content that now as a mom, I have to protect myself from, and anything involving kids of any sort. But like back in the day, and it still is, like military movies, because especially when my brother was deployed, I stayed clear of those types of movies because it was mental torment. And now the same thing applies to anything that has to do with kids. It's something of this. If anything happens to a child or involves a child doing something, I have to steer clear of it because I just don't have the mental capacity for it.
It's not like that. Like, I totally avoid movies where kids get kidnapped. I can't do it. I absolutely can't do it. This one it's touching on so many different social subjects that as parents, sometimes I think we're burying. Some things I didn't even know about, like incel culture. Do you know about incel culture?
Oh, please. Yeah, I'm very familiar with the incels.
The incels are like the Andrew Tates of the world. It's involuntary celibacy and the bullying that goes along with it with young 13-year-olds. And in England right now, it is a major, major problem for young men to be stabbing young women. Right? And they are trying to figure out why. And a lot of this has to do with this incel culture is what they're getting at. So there are terms in here as a parent that has an 18-year-old I wasn't even aware of. The signals online between those that are 16, 17, 13 years old that they're seeing that we as parents aren't absorbing was mind-blowing to me. It was like a completely different world. It also...
And this isn't fabricated for like embellishment in movie. Like this is stuff that's actually happening. They're taking like real life and turning it into art.
Yeah, it's not like one story out of England. It's a problem in England right now. Okay. And they used this family as the example. But as a parent, it also brings up all sorts of issues like, could we have done anything differently with our kid when he's done something or has been accused of doing something that we haven't taught him at all? Like, he's such a good kid. How could he possibly be involved in something like this? So it brings up nature versus nurture conversations also.
Which is, I'm sure, what every parent goes through every parent's mind that's ever had a kid who was responsible for a school shooting.
And I'll tell you what else adds to this also is that in this particular family, they have 2 kids, and you think both kids are absolutely squeaky clean, and then you find out one isn't, and yet they were both raised under the exact same roof with the exact same parents, parenting the exact same way, yet one kid pivots the one way and one goes the other, and it is a completely huge fear for any kind of parent.
However, to spin off of that, there is a psychologist that has commented, you may be under the same roof, you're not parented by the same parents. You're parented differently. Like if you're the first kid, it's just their first time going through it, etc. As the second child, you're getting a different set of parents because they've already been there and they've learned something. So when people are like, but we were raised by the same, no, people evolve and change as they get older, depending on when they had you. So the oldest could have been raised by one set of parents, and the next child could be raised by, while they are the same people, a completely different set of parents.
And I would just like to point out that the oldest normally gets the hardest parents.
I will also say this, that just from a production standpoint, there's only 4 episodes, like I said, but there are no edits. They shot it in one take for each episode, and the way they have done it, it's fascinating. I couldn't do enough research on it just to figure out exactly all of the movements and the dance and the choreography that's involved in not making any edits. And it's just one camera the entire time. It is one of the best shows that I've ever watched. I am not getting paid by Netflix to tell you this, but as a parent, it will jar you. The last scene, give yourself at least an hour afterwards to process everything you just saw, because it's as emotional as I have ever seen. It's a brutal one,
That
man.
sounds scary.
It's called Adolescence on Netflix, and you have been properly warned at this point. Okay? So you're struggling to work out and get motivated every single day. Abby's made some tweaks that have made it a little easier, yeah?
Contrary to what my mirror selfies on Instagram say, I don't particularly like to work out. I like to look good because I'm vain, but I don't like to work out.
Can we pause for a second? We went over this yesterday so quickly that I didn't have a chance to direct questions at you. Did you say yesterday you posted like some kind of question about asking people for input on how you look?
Oh, because I got bangs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a mistake. I shouldn't have done
why do you
that.
care what they think?
Well, I was drunk and I was curious.
Well,
That'll do it.
It's a bad combo.
Yeah, I shouldn't have asked. I was like, I know I look good. Why did I ask? And then they ruined it. Anyway, never do that. But anyway, I work out a lot. I go to Pilates probably 3 to 4 times a week. I walk every day because I like male attention, and that's the way to do it by being shallow. And Kristen has recently jumped into the world of strength training and working out because you want to be around for your kid as he gets older, and you want to be able to hold him and jump with him and live long and have a nice, strong life. And I didn't realize how crappy working out has been until I did something recently that has made it far more enjoyable.
Started drinking right before you work out.
So yeah, I started going to Super Rica before walking over, getting a couple of marks, and then just doing all of my planks to pikes, super drunk. No, I'm a strong, independent woman. I do everything by myself because, that's a necessity. You got to live your life on your own when there's no man to support you. And then you're out here living life by yourself. And I've recently joined this thing that has made working out not easier, but more enjoyable. So y'all know I'm doing a big group trip to Greece in September. I'm taking 28 women to the island of Crete, and it's going to be so fun. And one of the girls in our group chat decided to start a side group chat that's all about working out in preparation for Greece. We're like, listen, we just want to go and look and feel our best. Doesn't matter what your goal is, whether it's to lose weight or to tone up or just to feel good in your body. Why don't we all have a support group that helps us reach whatever that goal is so we all feel really great in September?
Oh, you found your own swole mates.
I found my swole mates, but instead of just getting married to one person, I'm in a harem. So I'm in a workout harem. And it has made working out so much more fun because every time I go to Pilates, I can't wait to send them a selfie and be like, you guys, I didn't even cry while we were doing our catfishes on the reverse side of the platform, which is it's a really hard move for your abs. And just some of the girls have been making me literally giggle and cackle and has just brought such a light to working out. Like there's this one girl who was in St. Louis and she took a selfie with the arch and she said, I'm in St. Louis for work, but that doesn't stop a baddie from getting out and getting a walk in. The arch is a metaphor for how snatched and flexible I'm trying to be in a couple months.
Somebody used this word when they were signing up to be a swole mate, and it's the your accountability buddies.
Accountability buddies.
Your accountability buddies.
I feel like this was before you joined the show, Abby, but it still exists. We have the Bert Show Fitness Fam, and it's a Facebook group, and people will post when they go on runs, if you go on a Peloton ride. So if you guys right now want swole mates or accountability buddies, or what is it,
accountability buddies.
Like right now, you can go find the Bert Show Fitness Fam on the Facebook group, and we'll all hype you up.
So are you working out more consistently now because you're enjoying posting within the group?
It's almost like it's another layer of that emotional structure that you don't realize that you're missing, especially when you exist as a single person in the world. Sometimes you forget how isolated you can be. And humans are meant to be in community. And so when you find that missing piece that kind of adds sort of like that extra support to your life, you realize how nice it is to have these people that kind of have your back. Like yesterday, had raging diarrhea in the middle of my Pilates class. And instead of just having to suffer in silence, I'm like, oh my God, I have people who can laugh at me. And I was like, listen, didn't get to do my crunches on the reformer, but I still left feeling snatched because of what I was experiencing. Because you never feel skinnier than after a really bad bout of diarrhea.
This is neat.
There are certain times, like depending on where you are in your cycle, when I do a waterfall in yoga, I have to cross my legs as I slowly lower it down so I don't release the front part.
Thanks for that. Appreciate it.
You know why I come in here for 25 years now?
Why?
It's to have an appreciation that I'm a man and don't have to deal with all of this, man.
It's pretty nice.
The Bert Show.